Hey guys, welcome to Unit 7, Lesson 2. Our topic today is the product and quotient rules. We've already done 3 rules of differentiation in the past lesson. And we're going to do 2 more today. I want you to try the warm-up on your own. Pause the video and then we'll do it together. So the warm-up says, given the function, and a function is given to you, and it says find the coordinates where the function has a tangent line with the slope of a half. So basically my slope is my derivative, right? My derivative is given to me. I need to find the coordinates. I want to find at what x value is my slope a half. That's what it means, right? If I know my x, I can automatically substitute the x into this equation and find my y. So I'm going to start with what? My derivative. My derivative here is, I'm going to use my product rule. I hope you remember it. It's going to be 2x minus 3. So I know my 2x minus 3, that's my slope, is going to be equal to my negative 1. It's negative 1/2. So now I want to add the 3. So I get 2x equals, adding 3 will give me 5/2. So divide by 2, which would be 5/4. So I know my x coordinate. I want to find my y coordinate. So I'm going to go back to my original function and substitute f of 5/4, which would be what? 5/4 square minus 3 times 5/4. You can simplify that and you will get negative 35/16. So your coordinate, again, please make sure you always read the question. It asked me for the coordinates. My x is 5/4 and my y is negative 35/16. Part B says find the coordinates where the function has a horizontal tangent line. What do you know about horizontal tangent lines? What is the derivative of a horizontal tangent line? It is, if you've not guessed it by now, it is going to be equal to 0, right? Your slope, your m is going to be, or your derivative value is 0 for horizontal line, right? So you already know your derivative was what? 2x minus 3. You're going to set it equal to 0. So x is equal to 3/2. So I want to find the point again. I'm going to substitute 3/2 into my original equation. So it's going to be f of 3/2 is equal to 3/2 square minus 3 times 3/2. So this would be 9/4 minus 9/2, which is negative 9/4, right? So I want to write my coordinates. It's 3/2 and negative 9/4. I hope you get these questions. If you have any questions, again, reach out to me, please. So now it says, while the sum difference of two functions is the sum difference of the derivatives, which we saw that was our rule number 3, right? The derivatives of the product quotient of the two functions is not. The sum difference is same, but the product and quotient means division, is not the product quotient of their derivatives. So the product rule, if, just going to write it out, if f of x equals a times b, if you have two functions that are being multiplied, then what would be the derivative of them? F prime of x would be a prime b plus ab prime. Okay, so you take the derivative of the first function, times it by b, plus write this first function and take the derivative of the second function. So that's what you do. Once we do the questions, they'll make more sense. The quotient rule is if f of x is equal to quotient, I said is division, a/b. So this would be then f prime of x, or the derivative of f of x, is you take whatever is your denominator, you square it, and then again it's very similar. It's the derivative of the first times b minus, this is minus, remember the product rule is plus, and it's going to be ab prime. So that's what it is. You want to memorize those, write them out on each of these pages while you're doing these questions. So the first question says find the derivative of if f of x is equal to this. So I'm going to call this, what do I see? The operation between the two is multiplication. This is going to be what? A prime b plus ab prime. So let's do that. So a prime. So let's take, what is the derivative of this? Apply the power rule. So it's 2x plus 0, so which is just 2x. Times my b is, write your b as it is. Plus, now I'm going to do this part. I'm going to write my a function, which was x squared plus 1. And now take the derivative of this part. So it's going to be 3x squared, and derivative of a constant is 0, so just 3x squared. You can simplify, multiply them out. I get 2x to the 4th plus 6x plus 3x to the 4th plus 3x squared. This is going to be same thing as 6x to the 4th plus 3x squared plus 6x. So that is my derivative of f of x. Number 2. So here we are going to be using, you see a fraction, you're going to use the quotient rule. That's your first thing. So this is a and this is b. So let's rewrite the formula. It is b squared, and then it's the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus the numerator times derivative of the denominator. So I am going to write it as f prime of x or y prime, whatever you want to write it as. And if you were to read this, this is derivative with respect to x. Okay, so I'm going to set up my fraction. I'm going to take my denominator and square it. So that's my first part. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this in two different colors. I'm going to take the derivative of my numerator. So I'm going to do it one thing at a time, one term at a time. Derivative of x squared is 2x. Derivative of a constant is 0. So it's just 2x times my denominator. So it's x squared plus 1 minus my numerator, which is x squared minus 1 times the derivative of my denominator, which is also happens to be 2x, because derivative of x squared is just 2x, the derivative of constant is 0. So I'm going to simplify this a little, the numerator a little. So what do I get? I get 2x to the 3rd plus 2x minus 2x cubed and plus 2x, right? The 2x cubed and 2x cubed cancel out over x squared plus 1 squared. So I'm left with 4x over x squared plus 1 squared. And that's my derivative of f of x. So that's how you apply the quotient rule. So the next question, it's not tricky, just pay attention to what it's saying. Suppose u and v are both functions that are differentiable at x equals 2. And it's saying if u of 2 equals 3, u prime of u, which is derivative at that point, it is negative 4. V of 2 is 1 and v prime of 2 is v. For each of the following derivatives, at x, find each of the following derivatives at x equals 2. Sorry about that. So your u and v, what is the operation between them? Your multiplication. So you're going to use the product rule. What is the product rule? I'm going to rewrite it as derivative of the first times second term plus the first term times derivative of second. So all I'm going to do is substitute that in. U prime is what? Negative 4 times v of 2 is 1 plus u is, what is u of 2? 3 times v prime of 2 is 5. Simplify the negative 4 plus 15, which is 11. So this is how you find it. So here the values were given to you and all you had to do was substitute in. all you need to know was the product rule. Now it's telling you about the quotient rule. This is your numerator and v is your denominator. So this is going to be equal to, the derivative of that is v square derivative of numerator times denominator minus numerator times derivative of denominator. So again, I'm going to substitute all in. Negative 4 times 1 minus 3 times 5 over v square, which is 1 square, right? So this would be, the numerator is actually gonna be negative 4 minus 15 is negative 19. So negative 19 over 1, which is just negative 19. So this is how you do these questions. I hope that helped. I want you to finish the remaining questions, upload them onto Canvas, and email me if you have any questions.